Oops, her titty fell out. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a tag video. And if you guys don't know what a tag video is, that is when you pick a subject and then you answer like a couple of questions about it. And so I'm doing something super basic where I'm just doing the Barbie tag. I have about 10 questions here I'm gonna answer, but this tag isn't just any other tag, guys. It's a collab. It's a collab. So today we are collabing with Mauricio from Shrimp On The Barbies. I mentioned him in my favorites video, which I will link down below. We've been talking about doing like a collab for a while now, but you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. He lives in a different part of the country, stuff like that. And so I figured this would be like a fun way for us to do a collab, but socially and responsibly distanced from each other. If you guys haven't checked out Mauricio's channel yet, I will give you guys like a little sample of his content.
Yeah, I say a lot, and don't try me because you know what? I'm nervous and it's hard. If you watch this video and you're like, girl, you seem kind of sad, that doll made me sad, okay? I spent $175 on her. I know I've said that number a million times, but you know what? She made me mad and she made me sad. And Mattel, I don't know what you did, but you dropped the ball and it sucks. It really sucks.
Okay guys, and that's what I feel like is a pretty accurate description of Mauricio's channel. He's very like honest and funny, and I don't know, I absolutely love it, and I just think he's a funny guy. Mauricio is going to answer the same questions in the Barbie tag that I'm answering in this video today. I will have his video response linked down below, so go over to his channel, check it out, and subscribe, guys. So now that we have all of that out of the way, why don't we get into the Barbie tag. The first question in the Barbie tag is, who is your favorite Barbie? So for me, there's so many like Barbies I love, and it's really hard to like pick one. But I feel like that's a question that's asked a lot, so I just came up with like a very basic and generic answer that I can just throw at people without getting into too much depth, because it's a pretty universally loved Barbie. And that is the 1991 Mermaid Barbie. 1991 is the year I was born, so that's one of the reasons I love this doll. I absolutely am a slut for mermaids, you guys know that. And I just think she's like a really good example of like what a playline doll is, you know? Because she doesn't have like crazy articulation. Her arms just go forwards and backwards. They don't go out to the sides or anything. She has the twist and turn waist and the classic bend and snap knee, because she is a 90s Barbie, but was probably like in the design phase in like the 80s. She has that beautiful 90s like terracotta skin. Oh, oops, her titty fell out. She has that beautiful like terracotta 90s like burnt leather skin tone that I absolutely love. Blonde hair, and she does have tinsel in her hair, which I absolutely hate, but I love this doll. So yes, the 1991 Mermaid Barbie would be my favorite. The next question is, who is your least favorite Barbie? And I couldn't think of like one specifically, but basically it's any Barbie or doll or anything that has those gross molded on plastic tops and then like a cheap fabric underneath. I hate those. Like, they're just my least favorite. One, their articulation is usually awful, but on top of that, I just think it makes them hard to like redress into anything fun. And I know they're supposed to be like easily dressable for like younger kids and stuff. And listen, that's super, but it's not like Barbie clothes are that hard to put on. The next question is, what non-Barbie brand do you like? And I think that's pretty obvious. Integrity.
Duh!
Integrity dolls are just fantastic quality. I like their clothing and everything, their representation, stuff like that. It's a very adult collector line, and I appreciate that a lot. Because sometimes Barbie and MGA, they get a little too cutesy, and that's not really my jam. Like, this dude is straight up like... He just lost his hat. But this guy, he's like straight up like some club gay, like doing drugs in a bathroom kind of a thing. Now that's what I call representation. Who was your first Barbie? And mine was the Ocean Friends Ken doll with the dolphin. That was the first Barbie I ever received, like, as a gift, and it was for Christmas, I believe. And it was given to me because he's a male doll, and like that's very that's more masculine than just giving me a Barbie.
That is not correct.
Came with like fun see-through plastic like snorkeling gear and a dolphin, and then like you had these black tights underneath that would like color change, and like I think hot water would like make the black go away or something like that, and then make the black come back if it was cold. He has a very special place in my heart because he was my first Barbie doll ever. Really handsome. Who is your most recent Barbie? We all know I'm like trying to like cut back on spending like a ton on Barbies, and I'm very like anti-consumerism right now, especially where I'm in college and everything. So I'm only buying Barbies that I like really vibe with, not just ones that are coming out. And I really vibed with the 350th anniversary HBC Stripes Barbie. I think she is absolutely awesome looking. I'm gonna do an unboxing video for her. That's why she's not like out of the box yet, and that may come out after or before this video. And if it comes before this video, I will link that down below in the description box. I love her contemporary outfit and everything, and the very Glacier National Park inspired stripes and everything, and even her face mold is just absolutely beautiful. And to me, like $50 on a signature doll like this was probably more worth it. We'll see in the unboxing. Your favorite Barbie media. And it used to be the Barbie like style Instagram page because it's very on trend and new, and you see Barbie wearing like actual pants and textured fabrics and having short hair for once and just really cool stuff like that, a lot of representation. But I'm starting to fall in love with like the Barbie Adventures in the Dreamhouse vlog at the moment, where Barbie is actually tackling like real issues. Like I know she had one about how she gets treated as a woman and like mansplaining and stuff like that, but she just had Nikki on the vlog, and they were talking about like racism in a pretty like upfront way. And I just really appreciated that because it was a lot of like Barbie like questioning stuff that's happening, and Nikki like just kind of being exhausted about dealing with racism and everything. And I know it's like a kid's show, but those situations they're talking about in the video probably come from like real life events that people on the Mattel team have like experienced themselves. And I just think it's really cool to kind of like show kids that stuff like that is wrong, and that Barbie is using her influence and her voice to like teach morality. This one's gonna be a doozy of a question because I feel like this could go so many different ways for so many people. Question in this tag is, do you like the direction Mattel is heading with Barbie? Yes, no, or neutral? Explain. I am very neutral about like the way Barbie and Mattel is directing, because I think like the nostalgia blinders kind of hit people a lot with like older Barbies, and like some of them aren't as great as like you remember. It was just you were younger back then and stuff like that. Because I'll get some 90s Barbies and I'm like, oof, okay, maybe that wasn't like the best thing that ever happened. But at the same time, there's a lot of issues with like today's Barbies with like the pixelation faces and stuff like that, and or bad rooting and everything. It's weird because I'm very like, I like where Barbie has come from, and I like kind of like where she's going, like the message behind Barbie, not exactly like the quality behind Barbie at the moment, but more the message and representation of like different skin tones, hair texture, sexual orientation, stuff like that. Even if it's not like outright said, like the way they're themed, you can kind of like pick up on it and make it your own, which is what you do with your Barbies. They're yours, and their stories behind them is for you to decide. I think it's cool, like the representation we're seeing in Barbie nowadays, not exactly the quality. Where back in the day, a lot of people argue about the quality, and the representation did come around like kind of early for Barbie, like not as much as it is now, but they they had Christy, and then they started doing like those dolls of the world. So you were getting dolls from like all sorts of different countries and ethnicities and skin tone. And I just thought that was really cool. So yes, I'm very neutral on the way, on the direction Mattel is headed with Barbie. The next question in this tag is, who is a Barbie you've bought since you become an adult that is strictly for a nostalgia fix? That would be the jewel hair mermaid Barbies. These are complete 100% nostalgia. I probably knew about these Barbies before I knew about this Barbie. So the reason I knew about these is there was a girl I basically like grew up with, and I won't say her name like in the videos just in case, but we'll just call her Kay. And she had a bunch of these dolls, and I thought they were like the coolest thing ever. They have like crazy long hair and everything, and you can take off their fin, and they had like these little skirts, and like you could put their little shoes on, and it was that classic 90s chunky pump that people really like. And I definitely bought these for like a nostalgia factor and a form of like escapism through nostalgia, you know? So yeah, the jewel hair mermaid Barbies are definitely dolls I bought strictly for a nostalgia fix, and they're just some of my favorites. The next question in this tag is, do you feel like Barbie is a good role model? Explain. So I would have to say ultimately that yes, Barbie is a good role model. Mattel has made some missteps throughout the decades, which it's been like 6 decades, so you know there's going to be some missteps. But I think ultimately what Barbie represents is like a good model where it was basically like women could be anything. And it may have started off like a little cliche where it's like, oh, women can be like great mothers and housewives and stuff, but or like teen fashion models. But she's like not slowly, she has evolved over the decades, representing like different jobs and skin tones representation, again, like stuff like that, which is really important. So I do think Barbie is like a good role model after all. I never really bought into like her body being problematic because she was just a doll, but I don't think that deep, I guess. I don't know. So I do like that she does have like different body types now and everything like that. And some of her careers are getting a little more interesting. Like she was just like a robot designer or something, and I think that's really cool. So yes, I do think Barbie ultimately, even though there's been some missteps, is a good role model. When was your favorite decade for Barbie? That's really rough because like I'm a millennial, and my favorite, I was only like, the oldest I ever was in the 90s was like 9 years old. So it's a toss-up because it kind of goes over 2 decades, because it would have been like mid to late 90s to the early 2000s was like my favorite decade for Barbie, because that's when she was like the most on my radar up until now. And I loved like that whole Y2K transition into the 2000s Barbies. So I would say like that decade, I guess, where it's like in between 2 decades. But I loved stuff from that era. Like that's when stuff like Generation Girl came out, and they had all those amazing accessories. Like the My Scene dolls came out, which are some of my favorites to this day. Back when like Mattel had the license for Disney Princess too, and it was like okay. It was before it started really going downhill with those molded plastic tops and like really bad like stiff articulation and everything. That was my Barbie tag video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below like some of your questions to these answers, and if you do like a video with this tag, like definitely let me know. I would love to watch it. Again, Mauricio's video for the Barbie tag will be linked down below in the description box. Go watch and subscribe. I'm also going to tag Adam from the Doll List in this Barbie tag, and hopefully he'll make a video answering all these questions as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I'm not wearing any pants. I'm not wearing any pants. Where did all that stuff go? Do, 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 do.